Max. Oh my God. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the debate room. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since y'all seen my face. I'm glad to be back. It's just been
over under how many times Jaden has said that before? Like,
I don't know, bro. Like, it's just like I got real stuff going on, like in real life. Like right now, I'm in Central Illinois right now. You know, I work for a news station. You know, the whole sports thing. So we just got through with state volleyball, and then playoff football is heating up. So I've just been busy with that, busy with schoolwork and stuff like that. But I should be back. You know. I got my boys Latif, Q, and Max. Y'all can say what's up. I don't know what Max doing.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Ready to get this shit going.
Actually, do we have a question of the day?
No.
You know we ain't got no question of the day.
Latif does one every 3 months.
You ain't the one only want to be busy, bro. Running a newspaper.
I don't do that.
You want a question of the day right now? You want a question of the day right now?
What's your question of the day, Max?
Thanksgiving is next week. What is the best part or best food at Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving food is trash.
Macaroni.
Didn't we do this already?
We have, but macaroni.
Maybe.
Thanksgiving food is trash.
It's macaroni though.
Yeah, we did do that because I remember Jaden saying that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
That's insane. That is insane.
Bro, the only food I eat at Thanksgiving is macaroni and ham, if that.
Ham is crazy.
Okay,
Let's go. Go ahead.
Oh, didn't you say K was better than LaMelo?
Never said that.
All right, cool. Anyways, let's hop into it. Should the Lions or Eagles be favorites in the NFC? Latif, I know you're supposedly high on the Eagles or something like that.
I'm not supposedly. It's one of my best takes of the year, my biggest agendas of the year.
The only one. He got one. He got one off this year.
It's not only one. It's not only one.
Wait, how close is Sauce? To winning Depoy?
Very close. No, that was really bad. But I was trolling. We could take that.
I'm not gonna lie. Sauce has been not
trolling.
good actually.
I was
trolling. I mean, I can't. I did start laughing.
You weren't trolling. You said that he has a better chance than who did you say?
Aiden Hutchinson.
I said
Who's gonna definitely win the award?
Guys, thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for
backing up on that one. Right now, because Aiden Hutchinson is.
I appreciate that one.
He suffered a bad injury. Prayers up to him. Hopefully, he recovers. But
did you say A-Rod was gonna be top 5 for MVP too?
Nope.
Yeah, it's been a bad year for you.
I never said that. You just made that up, bro.
It's been a bad year for you. I gotta find that.
You did. I never on everything I love.
I remember you saying that.
Everything I love, I never said that. Anyways, Lions or the Eagles as favorites in the NFC. It's a pretty close conversation because the Lions have been dominating for 8 weeks now. They're blowing out competition. They're beating good opponents. I think they have probably more quality wins than the Eagles. The Eagles just got a quality win over the Commanders, who I think are a good team. So it's really easy. It's really compelling to see the Lions based off their entire season, based off their talent, based off their coaching. But I think the Eagles should be the favorites in the NFC because their defense has been one of the best in the league since week 5. They've been elite defensively. Saquon Barkley has been a game changer. What, bro? Saquon Barkley has been a game changer. Like I said, he was going to be. Add that to my list. Like I said, CMC.
One of the best running backs in the league. He's going to be a game changer. Great take.
No, okay, sure. You don't got to be hot to be right. So, anyways, CMC. Saquon has been a game changer for this offense. Now that they're healthy, Jalen Hurts is looking like he is back to being a top 10 type of quarterback this year. He hasn't turned the ball over that much in the last 7 weeks. He's been really, really good. He's been still running the ball pretty well as well. Vic Fangio has transformed his defense. Kellen Moore has made his offense better than what it was last year with Brian Johnson. They're dangerous. They're probably the most talented team in the entire NFL, arguably, as far as roster-wise. The one thing that's holding them back right now is Nick Sirianni as their head coach. He makes questionable decisions week after week after week. So if there's anything that's going to hold them back, it's Nick Sirianni being their head coach. But as far as their talent on the roster, they're up there with the league's best. So that's why I find they're favorites in the NFC right now. And I made the pick in the beginning of the year. So I'm definitely not going away from it right now with how good they be playing. So for sure, that's my take. Q.
I'll go next because I've probably been the biggest Lions believer on this podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have my doubts about this team, and again, it always just relies on the shoulders of Jared Goff and how he's willing to play. But this defense needs to fix the issues it has. Again, I think they've been playing well, obviously, but they haven't played inferior opponents. I think when it really comes down to it, Jared Goff is a big part of this, but I think their secondary, more specifically their cornerbacks, will really win or lose them games. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch play well together. I'm not as worried about them. I am worried about their DBs and if they're going to completely let teams just dot them up, especially if you go up against a team like Philadelphia, who has A.J. Brown, who has Devontae Smith. How are you really going to defend that if your cornerbacks aren't playing up to the how you need them to play an NFC Championship type game? Defensively, they've been obviously looking well in the front seven without Aiden Hutchinson. Again, it's against different opponents. I need to see him play a little bit better teams, but still, I mean, I think a win versus the Packers isn't bad. But playing the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Colts next week doesn't really move me crazy. The Zadarius Smith trade helps. But yeah, I mean, right now I need to see, like, do they play San Fran or Philly this year? Like, who are their next couple of opponents? They play any teams later on in the year? The Bills? They play the Bills maybe, right?
They do play the Bills.
Okay, so again, some of those games I want to see how they can stack up against real contenders or actually good teams, as opposed to playoff caliber teams or anything less than that. But as far as going forward, I'm still going to take the Lions right now. And that's simply just because I think that Quinyon Mitchell has been playing really well. Obviously, he's been getting a lot of love for what he's been doing to wide receiver ones. But still, I'm going to put a little more confidence in that Lions offense right now. It's going to rely heavily on getting pressure to Jared Goff. That front seven in Philly really needs to play well. You got to put pressure on Jared Goff in that one-game scenario. You got to get him uncomfortable, get him out of the pocket, because we all know that's where he's not comfortable. That's where he doesn't like to play. So he's a pocket passer. He wants to stay there, and their O-line allows him to stay there. So you need Jordan Davis. You need Nolan Smith. They cut Devin White, right? Who else even in that front seven anymore? Jalen Carter. You need those guys to really step up major in order to beat Detroit, because Jared Goff is fine staying in the pocket. Their O-line's good enough to get him in the pocket, and they can establish the run game that way. And I really think to expose the Lions and to beat the Lions, you got to put a lot more pressure and make it easier on your DBs. So I still think that Detroit will win at the end of the day, but Philly has definitely looked a lot better over the course of the season, and I think they could definitely give them a
I don't know. For me,
they have a chance of winning.
I'm gonna make this pretty short. For me with the Eagles, and it's been like this for the past 2 years. When you just look at the roster, you look at the names, especially last year, you would expect them to play better than what they did. I mean, I believe through the first 10 weeks, I don't remember the record, but it was resulting in wins, but it just didn't look like Eagles football. And now it seems like they're starting to put it together. Obviously, when you add Saquon Barkley, third best running back in the league, second, that's debatable. I'm taking CMC. I'm taking Derrick Henry. I don't know why you look like that, Latif. So obviously they're a great team. The Lions probably one of the most electric offensive in the league. I don't know. I'll probably say the Eagles, but it's slightly the Eagles.
Yeah, I get the edge of Detroit. Only just so slightly. Eagles still have a problem. They start out slow, and you just can't start out slow against the Lions, because then they'll just boat race you. You got to be able to keep pace. But their defense has come on. It started off slow, and then they just hit their stride. Offense still sputtery, but they still got the talent. They got the offensive player of the year in the backfield. They're gonna probably lean on their best player. Saquon could probably get them, to very decent spots. They could probably use him to get straight to the NFC Championship game. Like I said, if they start slow against the Lions, they will get ran out of the building. So I just give the edge to the continuity of the Lions offense. Not really their defense, just better offense versus a better defense usually wins every time.
I think this is a conversation that has no right answer, or no wrong answer, pardon me, because both of these teams are probably clearly the two best teams in the conference. What I will say is the Lions have been great at stopping the run, and we know that's a big part of the Eagles' offense. So if they can somehow slow down Saquon Barkley, I know they're not facing Saquon Barkley every game or nothing like that, but they've been one of the top defenses in rush yards per game, EPA per rush, all that type of stuff. They're at the top of the league in stuff percentage, all that type of stuff. All these stats that point to a good run defense, they're at the top of the league at that. So it's like if they can take that part of it away from the game, their secondary isn't the best, but Aaron Glenn has been playing. He's been scheming really well. So I think that might give them a little bit of edge as well over the Lions. So it's going to be – I think those teams will definitely be in the NFC Championship game. It's going to be one hell of a game. So we'll see who the real answer is when we get to the playoffs for sure. But, you know what we say, Lombardi test, and I could probably see Jalen Hurts holding the Lombardi before I can see.
Let's move on. I kind of want to say this. Steelers take command and lead in the AFC North. Really good game against the Ravens. I mean, it came down to JT missing 2 field goals. I mean, he's I don't want to say he's washed, but he's past his prime. And then Derrick Henry, when's the last time we seen Derrick Henry fumble the ball?
It was 1,500 days, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah, it's damn near 1,500 days. That's crazy.
It was the luck of the draw. I mean, Steelers been on a roll. I mean, they were winning games with Fields, but obviously, when you make a change, when you get a real quarterback in the lineup, and you see what happens. Obviously they take a lead in the AFC North. It hasn't been that good. I mean, the Ravens are a good team. Bengals, no. Browns, no. And honestly, the teams that they've beaten, the teams that the Steelers beaten aren't world beaters. They won against the Falcons, which was cool. I think that was the first game of the season. Broncos, Chargers weren't looking like the Chargers earlier in the season.
The Broncos wins looking better and better.
But the Broncos at the start of the season just was not it, especially when Bo Nix was playing the way he was playing. They lost to the Colts when the Colts weren't good. They lost to the Cowboys. And then the other team, their wins, Raiders, Jets, Giants, they had a dogfight with the Commanders. The Commanders are pretty good, and the Ravens are good. So, I mean, I don't want to say the strength of the schedule has been bad, but I wouldn't say it's been good. But the AFC North has been good. So,
can I ask a quick question? So I don't mean to interrupt, but this kind of made me think about it. All three of you guys, who would you guys have more confidence in going forward? The Broncos or the Steelers?
Steelers.
Okay. Just making sure.
Defensively, am I crazy for saying
they're both great? They're both great.
But defensively, you have a top 5 defensive unit, and then now you have a quarterback who can actually throw the ball. George Pickens has been great. Najee has, I will say he's came into his own. So I don't know. The offense is looking way better with Russ at the helm. And yeah, so it's I don't know what to say because the strength of schedule just hasn't been that great. But yeah, they've been pretty good. I can't hate it.
Well, the question for this segment is: do we view the Steelers as contenders after they beat what we think is a good team in the Ravens? What we think is a contender in the Ravens? And I would say no. I don't think
they won. They won 2 straight games against 2 good teams.
That's fine, but I don't think the Steelers are contenders. They're not. They're a hell of a team. They're a good team. They're very well coached. They have a great defense, but their offense, I'm not trusting that can play all the time. Their offense is okay, to be honest. What
do you need?
It's okay.
What do you need? What do you need? What do they need offensively?
Offensively, a better quarterback.
Playmakers.
Russell Wilson is not that, bro. We got to be serious.
You don't even. I'm not gonna lie. You don't need a world-beating quarterback. You don't. Especially when you have a defense that is performing like the Steelers defense performs, and then you have a run. Go.
Listen, I'm not trusting Russell Wilson. I'm not trusting a Russell Wilson-led offense against Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson come play all time. And I know the Steelers give the Ravens trouble, but I'm not gonna lie. Come play all time, I'm betting on the Ravens. I'm sorry. I know Lamar isn't that good in the playoffs. I'm still just I don't know.
Cool.
I'm not doing that.
Cool. Cool.
Listen,
You
listen,
won't take them
listen.
over
The Steelers offense is not
a 9-1 Chiefs. That's cool. Cool. You won't take them over.
That's what it has to do. That's what it has to be contenders. The Steelers are good enough to get a playoff win, and that's about it. They're not going to the conference championship game.
I did say that. I did say that a couple weeks ago. I said they had the chance to host this game, and I got shit on by Latif Love. And again, I can't.
They're not winning the playoff game. I would bet that. I would bet that they're not winning the playoff.
I said they host a playoff game. And I was
cool. They're not going to win one. I don't think they are. But they have the ability to.
It's your ceiling.
Yeah, for sure. Like they just their offense is not good enough. It's not. It's Russell Wilson can give you the deep playability that Justin Fields can't. Which is what we've seen in this offense. But the offense, you act like it was just on, bro. They just played one of the worst defenses. They just played one of the worst defenses in the entire league and put up 18 points and 6 field goals. That's not a good offensive performance. It's not, bro. They went against the Jets, who have been terrible since firing Robert Saleh. The Commanders' defense is not good. Like, so they've been beating good teams, but
I already brought up the
flaws defensively by a lot, bro. The Jets have been one of the worst defenses ever since they fired Robert Saleh. It's fell off a fucking cliff. So
I've already highlighted the strength of schedule. I don't know what you think you're doing by saying.
So why? So wait. Do you think they're contenders, Jaden?
I don't know as far as saying that they're contenders, but I think the teams that you're naming, I think they have a chance. I wouldn't just say, oh no, they're not beating the Bills. They're not beating the Bills.
We don't have a chance against any of the top 4 teams in the AFC. I don't know why we're doing it.
I think a great defense in the mid-court. And I like the Ravens. But what do you mean they can't beat the Ravens? The Ravens are defensively.
In all fairness, I did pick the Ravens. I picked the Steelers to win this game. I think that was kind of like the Steelers beat them in the regular season. It's at home. I think it makes sense. I might even pick them in the playoffs just because Lamar in the playoffs has that whole trope. But the Steelers just play well against the Ravens. I don't think they beat them.
Nobody outside of Latif argue with that. I was there with you. I said it.
100%. You smiled because again, when he said that they just, I don't think they beat them.
Sorry, I agree. I would rather.
I don't think the Steelers beat. I don't think they beat the.
Nobody should ever just have blind faith in Lamar Jackson and just win a playoff game. That'd be that'd be losing your heart instead of looking what you see. I don't really get to be honest. Like your opinion don't really matter to me because I know that this is my team. I watch them. You don't really know the nuance of what really goes on in these games. You're talking a whole lot of Russ with the naked contenders, and you saying don't take them over these teams that you're supposed to be trying to put them up against, but they're not going to beat those teams. We done seen them. We done seen the Chiefs walk down this still at the time good defense, and walk them down in the playoffs. I watched the Bills beat them twice in 2 different playoff series. I watched them do it with bad offensive performances. They're not a good team. They're cool through the regular season. Huh?
They're a good team. They were not great.
I'm talking about in the playoffs, that's a bye. You could go into that game. No, they're not going to put up no real points against the playoffs, and you're going to not skate by, but you're going to get out there and you're going to see the next round. The Steelers are just what they are. They're going to be a 10-11 win team, probably win a division. They're probably going to lose their first game in the playoffs. That's pretty much how this is going to go. They're not contenders.
When it comes down to coaching, when it comes down to defensively, I'm not going to lie. It was a few times where they the packages. Oh, pause. Hold on. The packages with Justin Fields, if you use that a little bit more, especially what play am I thinking about? What am I thinking about, bro? I think
4 snaps a game with Justin Fields going for about 8 yards is not gonna suddenly make them contenders, bro.
I'm just saying,
make the offense better.
I don't think that you have to have just I shouldn't say elite off. I would say that their offense is good, especially now that you have somebody who can take shots. And then you can bring somebody in.
The offense hasn't been good though. Just because they take shots don't mean the offense good. On a down-to-down basis, they're still not a great offense, and he still can't hit the easy stuff.
What do people think of Najee as a player last year compared to now?
I think he's been the same player, 1,000-yard back. People underrate Najee, and then when it looks okay, people like you overrate Najee.
I'm saying I didn't overrate him.
He's an above average back. He's 1,000 yards. That's it. He's not nothing.
Okay, I'm saying though, I'm not asking about your perception. I'm just saying what has the perception of the masses been about Najee from last year compared to now.
That don't mean it was correct. That don't mean it's not correct. He's an average back. People tend to when people underrate, they usually decide to overcorrect and then start saying things that aren't true to get away from the previously wrong take. That's usually how that happens. When in all reality, he's just been in the middle. That's usually what happens when people be wrong about certain things, certain players, certain teams. You got to overcorrect to counteract being wrong originally. He's average.
No, he is average. When did Russ come back? Week 7?
Week 6.
Yeah, 6. I think that was against the Jets, wasn't it?
Yeah, week 7 was the Jets. Yeah, he came back week 7 because they played the Giants week 8. Then they had a bye. I'm
trying to look at that EPA per play since week 7. In that game versus the Jets, they were 5th in the entire league EPA per play because they had a great game against the Jets. Week 8, did they have a bye?
No, they played the Giants.
EPA per play. Let's look.
In that game, Russ tried to throw the game, tried to fumble the game away in the last
13
2 quarters.
Week. This is week 9 right here. This would have been against who? Damn, I can't even find the team. This was their bye, week 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then week 10, I know they were in the middle of the league as far as like EPA per play. All right, as far as how successful their offense was, they were 17th. Last week against the Ravens, EPA per play, 18th. Their offense is like literally like I would say around 17th to 18th in the league. It's not good. It's probably average. It's average. I'm not gonna lie. Their offense is average. They have a okay run. They have a okay to good running game. The passing game is not great at all. Bro, like look at their weapons. Look at their personnel. Mike Williams is not a good receiver. Let's be serious. George Pickens is good.
It's really just Pickens. I'm not gonna lie. It's really just Pickens.
Okay then. So if they have one weapon, they have one weapon. George Pickens.
That's what I was trying to discuss that before.
Najee Harris is average. Jalen Warren is okay. The offense line, like been better this year.
I was trying to discuss that before. They don't have X factors. They don't have playmakers really besides George Pickens. Like there's not someone out there who's gonna like change the game on the offense side of the ball. Like they got to kill you slowly, and that's about it. Chris Boswell, I guess, is an X factor at this point in time, but they really don't have any X factors on that team.
That's like their third best offensive player.
That's what I'm saying. Like again, if you go up against a team like Kansas City, like again, Buffalo, like you need playmakers to go out and like consistently make plays. Like you need a Lamar, a Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? You need guys like that who are going to go out and like make plays for you. And I just don't think anyone does that besides George Pickens.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If we see some more packages with Fields, bro.
We stop. All right, can we start with that?
I'm not playing, bro. We see some packages. We see some packages with Fields. Obviously, the deep playability with Pickens. He catches anything and everything. And then like Najee has been playing good, bro. Like I'm not saying that they're like some elite unit offensively, but I feel like they could get it done. And then you have an elite defense. Like they can make stuff shake. I'm not gonna say that it's impossible that they beat the Ravens beat the Ravens.
No one. That's it.
All right, bro.
You said that. You said you're taking the Ravens. You said you're taking.
I will. Yes. All time. I would take the Ravens, and it's not based on. I know that they're hard matchups.
I don't know what it is based on. I
No, I'm saying I literally already said that. I literally already said what it was based on. I said I'll happily be wrong on that. I know they play the Ravens tough. I know Lamar Jackson playoff resume isn't the greatest, and I know they have a great defense. But again, we just saw them in this like these orientations of the team. Where this like it had that game was a 2-point game, and the Ravens played terribly. Like they played terribly. Like hella turnovers.
Field goal away. Missed field goals. 2
field goals, and they barely won. Like, come on, bro.
You can say that. You could say that, but then on that same side, the Steelers they couldn't cash in on none of their red zone chips. So if they cash in 2 of those red zone chips and make them touchdowns and not field goals, now it's a blowout.
How's their red zone offense been the entire year though? Is that a consistent theme, or what are we seeing?
Yeah, it's not great, but in this specific matchup, using for like the Ravens, and it's gonna sound like I'm not trying to hate on my team, but using the Ravens, what they do against other teams to justify what could have went like right in this game doesn't track, because nothing in this specific matchup ever works like that. It's always the same exact type of game. Like that's always going to be that kind of game. You're never going to see a Ravens Steelers game that's different than the one that you saw yesterday. Every single game happens just like that. Receivers dropping balls, that happens every single Steelers game. Drop touchdowns, drop pick, that happens every single Steelers game. Missed field goals, that happens every single Steelers Ravens game. Like that, it's consistently the same. So using outside evidence to try and change this matchup just doesn't work, because it's the same matchup. After you do it 3, 4, 5 times, it's just the same thing. That's just the trend.
That's fair. I do think they play them tough.
I don't know, bro. I think
I'm saying my point is, like, could they beat the Ravens? Yes. Would I be predicting it going into the matchup? No, I'm not doing that. No.
Sure, I don't think nobody would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't. What I'm saying is there's no real logical explanation other than we know for a fact Lamar is better than Russ, and this usually comes down to quarterback versus quarterback when it comes to playoff games. Quarterback versus quarterback, coach versus coach. The coaching edge you give to Tomlin, but the quarterback edge you massively give that to Lamar. Just when the stakes are highest, that kind of gets skewed a little bit. But I still would take Lamar over Russ in a playoff game.
They're more explosive offense too, and that's usually what you're doing.
It was just a terrible day for kickers yesterday.
Bro,
Justin Tucker just hasn't been good for a year and a half.
That's
no.
The fall Tucker is wild.
I don't want to throw him last, but he missed. I think he missed like a 47-yarder too.
He missed two.
Russell Wilson had 205 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception against the worst ranked passing defense in the league last year.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yo, aren't the Titans 2-8?
What does that got to do with me? You want to check the defense and stuff because you keep using strength of schedule. It's been a whole season now. You can't keep using that, bro.
Yeah, that's another thing I meant to say. In week 11, using strength of schedule, you got to throw that out because that doesn't even matter anymore. The next 6 weeks ain't really going to change what happened the first 11. Like it's just pretty much going to be the same thing.
You said the Titans were going to be a super team.
We go to next. Just go to the Bills.
They put me to sleep.
All right, bro. All right.
Can I go first on this one? Can I go first on this one?
No, cue the Bills fan.
Oh, sorry. I had a gripe with Latif on this one again. Sorry, I had a gripe on this one again.
Or Josh Allen.
Can we call the Bills contenders now, Latif?
Oh, sure.
Because I remember you like crying and getting so worked up about we can't call them week 3 contenders because that's just not going to happen. But I think we can call them contenders now. And again, I think at the time it wasn't insane through 3 weeks. And I think you could say the same thing now.
They were 1 and 2 against 500 teams before this game. So I mean, and they beat the Chiefs. So yeah, you can get them there.
Yeah, but that's not the problem. And don't using that whole narrative. That's silly because we 45 seconds ago, you can't use strength of schedule, but now you want to use strength of schedule.
Thank you.
I'm telling you,
but at the time that they played the Seahawks, people thought that was a toss.
I'm not gonna lie. Until
this game came down to a field goal at the gun. Like it literally came down to a field goal at the gun. So don't act like the worst is the Ravens loss. Every other game has been either nip and tuck or they've been blowing teams out. That's just how it's good.
This is one where until I see otherwise, the Bills will just be contenders. And I'm sorry, you can say that's crazy.
Go back to what I just said. When people underrate, let's take Latif out of it. People underrate and then they have to overcorrect to get away from a bad take that they made. A common thing this year that's happened with the Bills, people decide to be stupid and think that now the Bills weren't going to be as good. And now the people that had the Jets winning the division and had the Bills not being as good, they can't get away from that take. So now they're going to always be pessimistic about the Bills because of a preconceived notion they had in the beginning of the season.
That's not me, though.
To leave off that take, you have to start either A, in his case, be nonchalant about it, or two, in other people's case, a lot of TV people just calmly just still not believing them. Just say, oh, they're gonna do this, they're not gonna do that, blah blah blah.
I still get the Bills chance in the division.
It's hard to be wrong.
Q, I just want to say, I've been here with you with the Bills, bro. I've been here.
Oh, bro,
I thought you hate on their defense. Did you not hate on their defense?
Yeah, he's literally lying. So I don't You said the defense.
It wasn't about the defense.
No,
I was saying that I was arguing that they just weren't a great defensive unit. I didn't say they weren't gonna be a good team.
But they were a top 2 defense.
You said they were top 2.
I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I'm not saying.
Okay, so how come you've been here with the Bills? Now, what I would like to respond to Q, I'm not doing the overcorrection thing because although I do that,
I took you out of it. Because I said there's 2 paths. You're either going to overcorrect or you're going to be nonchalant about it.
I'm not being overly pessimistic because I also, while I did have the Jets win it, yo, bro. While I did have the Jets win
it, yes, you had them making the playoffs. Sure,
I had the Jets winning the division, yes. But I also said that that I picked Josh Allen to win MVP for the reason that the Bills could still win about 11 or 12 games. I literally said that.
The thing is, things are contradictory because
I said that. What are you talking about? I said that. I said that the first episode.
He did.
He didn't say that. No. I remember. Latif said he'll win MVP. He said he'll win MVP because of a storyline. You said you would win.
No, I didn't.
That's what it was. So if I pull it up right now, that's not what you said,
bro.
That's not what you
said. I said Josh Allen's will win MVP because he has lost Stephon Diggs. He doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's going to upload this offense, which he's doing, and they have the possibility of winning 11 and 12 games in the division. Yes or no?
I don't remember the 11 and 12.
Yes,
I don't remember
that just don't make sense. No MVP winner. That's a quarterback is winning MVP and not winning the division. That does not happen.
I agree. I was wrong about the Jets. I was wrong about the Jets. I had the Jets making the playoffs. I had the Bills winning the division though. That was never like anything different. I was on this Josh Allen train. I'm not a Bills fan at all, but I believe in Josh Allen this year. And you can go back and check me through whatever. I had them as contenders all the way throughout. I don't fall for this week 3, whatever. I don't get it doesn't matter. They are going to be a contender. And this game, I guess, proves it for some people. But what do you mean no? Like, it's literally this league, the league this year, so many bad teams. That's what I'm saying. There's so many bad teams this year, and there's a few good teams.
And then hide his hand. You were literally just shaking your head no. You were literally just shaking your head no, and then he asked you, like, what am I talking
about? I didn't shake my head at all. What are you talking about?
You did. That's a lie. You like twist or some shit.
That's a head shake. You want to say something? Get it right. That's not a head shake. I was like this, like that. I didn't in my head. Bro,
anyways, all I'm saying is with how much parity there is in the NFL right now, I think believing in Josh Allen and what the Bills have done in the past couple of years, yeah, they don't have Stephon Diggs, but they still have a lot of the same guys and the same coaching staff and the same quarterback.
Nobody ever with a top quarterback. Nobody ever got scared and said, "Nah, they're not going to be as good anymore because they lost a wide receiver." That just never happened. That just never happened. Come on, bro.
All right, we all agree. So next topic. We all agree. So next topic. I guess we all agree.
I remember, and I'm not even trolling. See, you definitely said that. You were like, look at what.
Yes, I was. First of all,
you said, look at what Josh Allen was before Diggs got there. Did you not?
Okay. Yeah, you're lying.
Q,
I said that. Bro, I brought up Josh Allen.
It's not about what you said or didn't say. It just doesn't track. They're not going to win the division, but somehow he didn't have the storyline to win MVP and uplift this offense. But they're not good enough to win the division, but he's the MVP. That just don't make sense.
They're good enough to win the division. I never said they weren't.
What?
It was
having an MVP winner that does not win the division just does not make sense. It was a toss-up.
I think that's kind of blasphemous.
It was like,
but 2 weeks ago, I got killed for saying that a team that's a 5th seed that's not winning the division should not win MVP. But I got killed for that.
I mean, we haven't really spoke about it on the Chiefs side, but to be honest, I don't even really think that we do. I mean,
no, I want to talk about the Chiefs. I mean, like I said last week, I said last time we was on, and they were 9-0. They won by the block kick. I posed the question, should they be concerned? And it was a resounding no. And I said I would just be cautious. Now they were obviously bound to lose. They're bound to lose.
Didn't Max say that they could go 17-0?
I said they could. I said if they again, if you go back and check, I said if they get past this week, I said the Bills are not an easy opponent if they get past this week.
I'm concerned about the Chiefs. I am concerned about the Chiefs.
Watch the clip. Watch the clip.
I'm concerned about the Chiefs. Mahomes is having probably his worst season ever. I love Mahomes. He's probably having his worst season ever. The defense is not as good as it was for the past 2 seasons. It's just not. Because they're banged up in the secondary right now.
I'm about to say that. Don't say that this year. They've been great up until 2 weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago,
but I think they're trending in the bad direction, and the secondary is.
What did you say about Snead, Latif?
What about him?
Okay, I could be getting you mixed up.
He's a Spags merchant. But
people, we know this, but yeah, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about I'm concerned about the Chiefs because the secondary is not playing as well as it usually does. The defense overall is not as good as last year. And last year we saw Rashee Rice emerging a little bit as the season wore on. He got better and better. They don't have that this year. Travis Kelce is still really good, but he is aging. Xavier Worthy is not a good wide receiver. I'm sorry. He's just not.
I don't know about that.
He's not a good wide receiver.
No. I understand. I was in the same boat. as you. Drop problems. Route running isn't that great. But as a gadget guy and after the catch,
he's not a great wide receiver. He's not a good wide receiver.
I know. I'm saying, but after the catch, I would say he's really good.
Xavier Worthy is not a good wide receiver. They do got D-Hop, but he's still getting ingratiated in his offense, and he's not what he once was. So
what? He's getting what?
Ingratiated.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know what you said. My fault.
Anyway, this right to my flow. Anyways, we seen Mahomes win a Super Bowl with Juju as his best receiver. So when you make plays like that, it's kind of hard to doubt you. But he's having his worst season of his entire career. The defense is not what it was. Kelce's not what it was. They don't really have a number 1 wide receiver at all. It's cause for concern for me. I'm getting skeptical at this point. It's starting to get a little bit skeptical. Am I betting against Mahomes? No, I would never do that ever. They still have a strong chance to win the Super Bowl. But I'm getting a little bit concerned because usually he does this in the beginning of the season. He trolls, and then like when the season is about to end, like going to the playoffs, he starts to heat up. Don't turn the ball over. But he's been average for his standards this season for sure.
I just want to go after Q. Q, you go first. I want to go after.
Yeah.
Why we waiting? You're waiting till the loss to be concerned. But
I said that. I mean, I was cautious after last week to the Broncos.
But you should have been. But if that's the case, based off everything you're saying, you should have been cautious after week 3. You should have been cautious.
The defense was the best in the league in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but all the same things going on in these same close game. Week 1, won by the skin of their teeth. They still would have to go to OT with the Ravens, but that's a 1 possession game. Came down to the last play. Very next game, damn near lost.
Yeah, Rashee Rice in week 3.
Huh?
Yeah, Rashee Rice in week 3.
I'm just going through the games, and it's with the full cast. 1 score game against the Ravens, almost lost to the Bengals. Missed call against the Falcons. It's whatever. I don't really care about the flag or no flag, but that's a 1 possession game against the Falcons. They possibly could have won that or lost that game. 1 possession game against the Chargers. The Saints did what they did. The 49ers game was nip and tuck into the 4th quarter. Raiders stormed back, 1 possession game. Buccaneers played them damn near down to the wire with no receivers. Broncos block kick. There's been a trend the whole season. That's why I said I wasn't worried because I've seen them. They've been doing this all year. And Patrick Mahomes has been the best 4th quarter quarterback all year. So, yeah, they were bound to lose one. But one loss not going to make me suddenly be worried about them when they've been clutching out just great wins all season. Like I said, they don't have to be, for me to be worried about them, they don't have to be dominant during the regular season. They're really just coasting. No matter what, once they get to the playoffs, we know it's probably most likely going to be a different story. So why should I be worried about it now? They could get 13 wins, coast, going to the playoffs. They're going to have the bye, and they're going to do whatever they want to the first round matchup, to their second, like their divisional round matchup, and they're going to be in the AFC Championship game. We know that. So
I'm not doubting the Chiefs. I'm concerned though. I'm concerned because like the story last year was their defense basically carried them. I mean, the defense is not as good. The secondary is not as good with Watson going down with the injury. They didn't adjust it at the trade deadline because Lattimore, I guess, or the Saints didn't want to trade him to the Chiefs or whatever. So their secondary at this point can be had. I think the tackle situation might be worse than what it was last year in previous years.
It is.
But the interior offensive line is still elite. Mahomes is going to be able to avoid sacks like he always is. But really my only concern is Rashee Rice really came on. He was big from last year, and you can spam Rashee Rice all you want. You can't really do the same with D-Hop. You really can't. And if you can, it's going to be like further on down the line. So right now, the Chiefs right now are just banking on Mahomes to turn up in the playoffs come playoff time, which very well and probably will happen. They're banking on Travis Kelce to turn it on during playoff time, which can happen and probably will happen.
Can I go?
That's not the problem. What are they, 9-1 right now?
Yep.
And I'm sorry, Q, but if he doesn't throw a pick at the end of the game, I think if that last play isn't a pick, I believe that they very well win that game.
No, after that they still have to stop Josh Allen again, then get the ball back.
They were not winning that game.
Well, it was down by 9.
They lost by 9. There was
a minute left and they were down 9. There's not a 9-point touchdown.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, they were winning that game. I don't know. I took.
Did you?
That's why they moved me. The game was already over. The game was already over.
I was thinking about. For some reason I was thinking it was 27-8, but I was thinking about a different game. But anyway,
that Josh Allen touchdown in the game.
Yeah, you're right. The thing is, bro, they lost this game by the skin of their teeth. And like I'm basically just gonna be reiterating what
did they lose the game? I don't think they did. I think the Bills dominated this game. They kind of put the Chiefs on the Chiefs. They controlled the time possession a lot. They didn't really run the ball, but they did run the ball, but not like as dominantly as
they didn't run it effectively, but they didn't stop running the ball.
Yeah, and then Josh Allen just made play after play. They dominated time.
I think he only had like two. I think he only had
two catches. Two catches
for 50.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He's
and
tough.
Josh was the same old great on third quarterback. Like he's one of the best third down quarterbacks in the league. Like for the past 3 years, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the red zone. His touchdown interception ratio in the red zone is 53-3. If he gets down there, they're scoring. Like that's just it.
I think we need to put respect on Shakir, bro.
Can I say one thing? Like just historically in the last couple matchups, what happens in the regular season when these two teams match up?
They win. The Bills have won 4 straight regular season games.
So I just don't understand what sure, they can win the game. That's awesome. But going into this game, losing a game by less than 10 points in Buffalo, I get it was not a glitz and glamour game. That's awesome. They weren't obviously playing super, super well. There was definitely issues. The issues were there before. But I don't understand how, and again, I like Patrick Mahomes. But this is where we get into a scenario where it's some crazy comeback that the Chiefs are going to win a Super Bowl right here. Patrick Mahomes is still the best football player in the world. I'm sorry if he's had a couple bad games. They're going to make the playoffs, like we've all said. They pretty damn well might get the 1 seed too, because the Bills have 2 losses, correct?
Yeah, the Chiefs are a half a game ahead of them.
So you basically just you need the Bills to lose 1 game, which I think could happen, and you need to lose 1 more game. Teams very rarely end with 2 or 3 losses, and they both will probably end with 3 or 4. Who knows? But there's a pretty good chance they still have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if they play this game again in Arrowhead in the playoffs, what normally happens, the Chiefs normally win. So all I got, again, I'm not saying it's
exactly the same. The outcome most likely is just going to be different.
It's not set in stone that that I think that, oh my gosh, the Bills will never beat the Chiefs. But come playoff time. But why are we overreacting, or why are we saying this all when the Chiefs are still the Chiefs and they still have a good defense? You can say they got holes on it. They got injuries. That's fine. They still got
overreacting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not doubting them. I have a level of concern. It's not a high. I'm not saying It's probably not.
No, consensusly around the league, like around like this, regular sports talk and things like that. People have been down on the Chiefs all year. People have outwardly been coming out saying that now Patrick Mahomes is not playing good football.
I might have a score like way before this. By the way, me saying I was concerned. Let me go look.
All I'm saying though is like I just don't understand it because I think at the end of the day, first of all, I think expectations of having to make the Super Bowl. Sure, you're the Chiefs now, but like they're gonna get to the playoffs. And I think they win a game, and I think they win a game, and then maybe they lose in that last game or something, whatever.
This goes back to like what I said. They'll be wrong, and then they'll try to overcorrect. Through regular season, it's always fun to pick the team that's going to take them down and get to the playoffs because the first 9 weeks it looked like the Ravens were the best team. It was basically the best team in football because they had the great offense. We have the great offense. And we're scoring. Obviously, our defense sucks, but it just looks so good. Lamar's putting up these numbers. Derrick Henry's going crazy. Yes, but then come playoff time, people are not going to stand on that same bridge because they know it's the Chiefs because they've been burned too many times picking against them already. But regular season is just for the talk. They're going to pick a new quarterback, a new team to try and be better than the Chiefs. Right now, obviously, they just beat them. It's going to be the Bills for the next 3 weeks until the Bills probably lose a game or if the Chiefs lose, whatever it is, and then if Lamar goes on a tear again, it's going to be a Ravens back again. Even though people haven't fell off on the Ravens, they just being quiet because now 4 losses and they look bad and things like that. It's going to make people be quiet on their Ravens takes, so they're going to keep it in the tuck. But once they start coming up again and the Ravens and the Chiefs lose two more games or something like that, now people are going to be loud about the Ravens again. People are going to be loud about the Bills if they get 13 wins because they were wrong and they thought it's a whole lot of just trying to figure something out, and then the Chiefs do what they do in the playoffs, and all off season it's Patrick Mahomes the GOAT. He did this, he did that. He wasn't playing well, but he turned it on at the right time. We know that's the story.
We talked about it on Bear Witness today. Like we talked about like not everything's linear. Like sometimes things just happen, and I think like there's some things are linear, but you can also see patterns, and it's like just because a team is the best team in the regular season and they do all these things well, when it comes down to one playoff game. Sometimes, even though the Chiefs have struggled, they just put it together, and then they do the same thing the next game, and the same thing next game against teams who are playing better or are playing more cohesive. The Chiefs just have proved year in and year out that it doesn't matter, especially if it's an Arrowhead. It really doesn't matter. Like they're just going to win. So I guess to be honest, the Chiefs could lose the next 5-6 games, and I still am like, okay, they have a pretty good chance.
All right, let's relax. Let's relax.
Come on, bro.
It's the same thing where it's just like I can't bet against Pat when you put him in a playoff situation. So I can't do it until he loses right now.
I mean,
they didn't win a Super Bowl every year, bro. They have lost some. They have lost some,
but not with any of these quarterbacks.
Not this team. We never seen them lose.
Joe Burrow's the only one, and Joe Burrow's not making the playoffs at this point in time.
Let's relax, bro. We're not gonna keep talking about something that happened 3 years ago. Like that don't even got no bearing right here. Like, and that was an overtime win where Joe Burrow ain't do nothing. Like Mike Hilton put a pick 6. Like Joe Burrow ain't do much. Let's cool that.
We kind of talked about MVP a little bit earlier in the whole Bills Chiefs talk, but now let's see who's really the MVP. For me, it's Lamar. I think it's Lamar still pretty easily. I don't even think this is much to be said. Just stats overall, it leans towards Lamar. And I would say impact in general leans towards Lamar. It's really nothing else to say, honestly. People like to – well, as of late, I think people have given Lamar his respect when it comes to throwing the ball. But throwing the ball, they're pretty on par. But when it comes to like using their legs,
not on par. What the hell are you talking about?
This season, yes, they are. He's actually been better. Lamar's actually been better. I don't even want to. Their weapons, both of their weapons are not good. Actually, you could say Josh Allen's weapons are better at this point.
Of course, now this. The whole world went into this season saying Josh Allen ain't got no weapons, and now Josh Allen's weapons is suddenly better because now it's gonna make Lamar look better. Don't do that, bro. Don't come up here and lie. Flowers would be the best receiver on the Bills right now.
I'm just saying, like, who's been better passing the ball this year?
I thought you were talking about as a passer because Josh Allen is a much better passer.
I'm talking about this year.
That constitute what you think good passing is, or what you think what you account that for.
On the ground, he's been better. Through the air, I believe he's been better. It's pretty close, but he's been better. 25 TDs to 18. We see. Well, I know that this really doesn't matter, but probably like the best 1-2 combo that I've ever seen with him and Derrick Henry. I mean, that doesn't really matter when it comes to MVP talks, but
that does. But it doesn't help your. It doesn't actually help your case though. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. That's probably how I should have phrased it. Yeah, I'm still going Lamar. With again, he doesn't have the same caliber of weapons that Josh Allen has.
That's just not true.
Mark Andrews hasn't been Mark Andrews. Zay is still
He's been better than both the tight ends on the Bills. Zay
Flowers. Last couple of weeks, he played pretty well. The last couple of weeks, Mark Andrews come back a little bit.
Yeah,
that's true. Zay Flowers, he's not there yet.
And he's still better than everybody on the Bills right now today.
Amari Cooper,
one, he just got there. He wasn't there from the start. He played 65 snaps, bro. Be for real.
I mean, he's on the team. Zay Flowers, we just seen him have a terrible drop. We just seen him have a terrible drop yesterday. Like,
but then he caught the touchdown pass.
Cool. He's not there yet. I'm taking Lamar.
Bro said he's on the team. Right. Y'all good.
I want to preface this. Lamar is the MVP as of right now. They're probably 9 times. There's a 50% chance they still win the division. I'll beg on us still winning the division. But as of right now, for everything that you know about MVPs that you've seen in MVPs, wins matter. Winning the division matter. Like all those things matter. You cannot be a 5th seed and win the MVP. That just doesn't happen unless you're a running back. And ain't no running back getting MVP no time soon unless Saquon go for 250 yards a game for the next 6 games and get 20 touchdowns. Then you got to give it to him, or he's going to be strong consideration. Other than that, you have to be a top 2 seed. You have to be winning your division to be even considered MVP. Other than that, we're just besmirching the award. That just never happens. If you want to make it a historical precedent, cool, but that'd be the second time that's happened with the same quarterback 2 years in a row. I just don't think voters are going to keep doing something like that.
I think.
I have a question before you go, Max.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think voter fatigue, like, just isn't as prevalent as it is in the NBA?
Yes.
No, but there's a precedent for MVPs in the NFL. One of those being you can't be a 5th seed.
I feel like there's more voter fatigue in the NBA. Maybe that's just me.
Latif?
What?
I said, do you think voter fatigue is as prevalent? Hold on, let me rephrase that. Actually, no. Do you think voter fatigue is as prevalent as it is in the NBA?
I think it's about the same. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think so.
I think Pat Mahomes is obviously the most valuable player to his team first, right? As he's the most valuable player on his team. But you also got to put narratives and you got to put storylines into it as well. And the second most valuable player to his team is Josh Allen. I said at the start of the year, I just don't think the stats are going to match up for him when it comes to him and Lamar. Lamar statistically is obviously doing some crazy things. But I think when you just look at it from where each team would be, and I get the Ravens' defense is really bad this year, don't get me wrong. But I do think Josh Allen is the second most valuable player to his team in the NFL. But I do agree with Q. I think that Lamar will win based off numbers he's putting up, based off the team doing pretty well. Yeah, but I've said Josh Allen from the start of the year. Both quarterbacks are obviously generational, transcendent quarterbacks to their teams. But I do think, I don't know. I think Josh is, especially that win. That's like a good marquee win for him, obviously, beating the Chiefs. But through 11 weeks, I don't know. I'd probably say Lamar, but I got to see end of the year, obviously.
This conversation is pretty much neck and neck. And what makes it neck and neck is because that's not even crazy. It's not crazy. I thought you were saying
Nobody said it was crazy. was
Hey,
looking at
shut
you.
up,
Yeah,
shut up, bro. I thought you was making doing the my bad.
It's
Anyway,
more like you surprise me sometimes. Sometimes you want to be smart. Sometimes, a lot of times, you want to be dumb when it comes to this specific guy in these conversations.
he
okay, I guess.
just liked to like farm no diddies and pause. Like nobody was even like looking at you crazy,
Bro, shut up. Anyways, this conversation is pretty much neck and neck, and I think Lamar, if his record would be better, it would be like a shoe in for it.
Clear cut. Maybe clear cut.
Yeah, it'd be clear cut because 25 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 117 passer rating. I think he is among the league leaders in completion percentage and yards. He's having an amazing season, one of the best seasons ever. But they continue to lose like games they shouldn't lose. So that's going to hurt his case, even though I wouldn't say Lamar was the biggest reason they lost the game. I'm sorry.
I said it's not his fault.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he got to be better though. 48 completion percentage. 48 completion percentage is kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. That is not great. Had some drops, all that type of stuff. He definitely played a part in them losing though. He should have been better. Was he the main reason? No. The defense. I mean, they Steelers offense. We already talked about that. But Josh Allen though, his case is basically he's one of the most valuable players in the league. His stats are also great because 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. That's amazing. He has a lot of passing yards. He has yards on the ground. His completion percentage is a little bit down. But he's doing it. I know that, bro. That's what I just said. But he has the record as well. He has a marquee performance against what we think is the best team in the league. So that helps his case as well. This race is close. We look at the odds. It's probably like close to 50-50 almost. I will have to check.
Plus 150. Lamar's plus 200.
Yeah. So this is a really close race. I think the Ravens can slip up and lose more games, and then it's not going to be like a really conversation because of the record and type of stuff. Not because of Lamar's play, but like they have the Eagles coming up, which I think they can lose that game.
We got another game. We got another game versus the Steelers. We got another game versus the Browns.
Yeah, I think they win both of those. But
for sure,
the Texans they probably going to beat at this point. They're going to beat them. The Ravens, the Chargers is a tough game. The Eagles is a tough game.
I think they blow the Chargers out.
Okay,
honestly, but that's just like a matchup thing, not like the Chargers are a bad team. Obviously, I think the Chargers are a good team.
So the Ravens right now are at 4 L's, right? If they get to like 5 or 6, it might be clips. I'm not gonna lie. It might be clips.
Do you trust the Steelers? Do you trust the Steelers against the Browns? Do you think they could get a win versus the Browns?
The Steelers, yes.
Do you think they could beat the Bengals one time?
Yeah.
Do you think they could beat the Browns twice?
Yes.
The Steelers win 3 more games and the division is clipped.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the Browns twice. I would say.
Yeah. So if they beat the Browns twice and beat the Bengals once, the division is pretty much clipped. So like we'd have to like pretty much we can't afford to lose more than 2 games, which I don't think it's like out of the possibility. But the MVP like last year, because if it's you see he rattled off a whole lot of numbers. If the MVP conversation was about numbers, Lamar doesn't win it last year. But you know what was the pretty much probably the deciding factor? Record. And he had 13 wins. Josh Allen had 10. Dak Prescott had 12, but he was in a weaker division and he had 2 bad like 2 horrible losses like against actual contenders. So the numbers they threw the numbers out and just gave it to the team with the best record. Now you're saying he got all these great numbers, but the record not even nowhere close. And there's a chance that he doesn't win the division. So with this specific situation, we start throwing out precedent and throwing away history and things like that just to try to appease something going on. I'm not trying to hate on my quarterback. He's still a top 3 quarterback stamp in the league, but we can't be changing narrative. A lot of what the league has done is try to overcorrect for their previous wrong take that Lamar was a wide receiver or a running back and he can't play quarterback. So now you got to start doing, trying to overcorrect what you were previously wrong about. Now we start throwing away precedent and it's crazy to critique Lamar. Peyton Manning, people was talking crazy about Peyton Manning, a top 3 quarterback of all time. So if they could do that to Peyton Manning, you could criticize Lamar Jackson. People just been doing it wrong. I think that's fair to say. I think it's fair to ask him to win the division so he could win MVP. He's done it before. I don't think now should be the year that we stop giving it to a division, like a division winner, top 2 seed. Like I just don't think that should ever be a thing.
I mean, if it's on some like Russell Westbrook type of thing, or Jokic the 6th seed, and he
Yeah, this ain't one of those.
Why not?
Yeah, this not one of those. He's not dragging a team. Like,
oh yeah, true.
Yeah, he's not dragging a team.
It's really bad though, and I'm saying like Jokic put up historic numbers. If Lamar continues on this top 10 season ever type of shit, then I don't know.
Yeah, sure. But one quarterback, wins is really fickle. They really come down to everything. Joe Burrow is playing playing just as well as Lamar Jackson, and he's not winning games, and his defense is ass. His defense just not making the timely plays that Lamar our defense is, or he's not getting the ball last. Or against the Ravens, we cracked him in the head late 4 times on the same drive, and he ain't get no flag. Things like that happen all the time. Those cause him to not win games. A couple of those one possessions games go the other way. They're an 8-2 team. But obviously that it don't work like that. And Joe Burrow don't really got a whole lot of control over getting a flag thrown for him because they knocking him on his head.
All right. I mean, kind of talked about Joe Burrow a bit. Let's hop into the Sunday night football game. Obviously, going into halftime, it was 24-6. Kind of looked like the Chargers were just gonna take a easy win. Bengals stormed back. Obviously, it was a few missed field goals on both sides. But what was your reaction to this game, Max?
Hey man, Justin Herbert, man. That's all I gotta say. Second half looked bad. Don't get me wrong. Second half was not.
Come on, that
was not great.
It was like 6-3, like 23, bro.
Walked away with the win, and that first half looked great. So run game helped for sure. J.K. Dobbins played well. Obviously, it's good to see him get the touchdowns. Yeah, the Bengals offense is great. Being T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. Chase Brown helps, obviously. Gesicki has moments, but those 3 guys that is the Bengals team at this point in time. Their defense obviously isn't helping them. McPherson isn't helping them. It does whatever. Someone made a comment or someone on ESPN we're seeing like an MVP candidate and a Triple Crown winner right now being wasted on Cincinnati. And it's like that's rough. You have arguably one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the entire league being sunk by how bad their defense is and how bad their supporting cast is right now. And it is sad to see. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Bengals fan by any means. I don't even really root for Joe Burrow like that. But just for the sake of football, it sucks to see a guy like Joe Burrow, who is talented, and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, one of the best receiving duos in the league, if not the best, have this all happen to them. Because again, this offense, if you put a competent defense around them, is easily a playoff contender. Could be even more than that. So from the Bengals perspective, it sucks. But from the Chargers perspective, man, like this team looks like it can actually this year. I don't know if they'll do anything, but you can get some momentum with that. Get a couple pieces, get some more receivers, get some more help. The defense has been revitalized by Harbaugh. A lot of the same guys, but unlocking something out of that. So the Chargers, I am in no way a Chargers fan. I am a Justin Herbert supporter through and through. So I'm happy to see the Chargers doing what they're doing. I picked them as my 7th seed to sneak into the playoffs, and as of right now, they could sneak in as a 5 or 6 seed, maybe even contend for the division if the Chiefs fall off a little bit more.
All right, come on, bro.
Bro, Herbert
I gotta get a little belief out there. I gotta push the Justin
trying to lose that game.
I gotta push the Herbert MVP thing a little bit harder than Latif was earlier.
Not after what I saw yesterday, gang. He was like actually trying to lose, bro.
Regardless, Justin Herbert gets. Is it their first matchup or is it their second?
That's their second matchup.
Okay, well, big game at home. Didn't blow it, so it works.
Bro, I think it was what 3rd and whatever, and he had Lab like wide open on the sideline, and he just like threw it.
Hey, bro, game's over. Game's over. It's a win. Game's over. Nothing to say.
He was under pressure. He was under pressure on that play too.
I don't care.
Don't critique no quarterback. You're not going to keep the same energy for every other quarterback.
What you mean?
What you mean?
Is this a Caleb reference?
Nah, Lamar Jackson just shitted the bed against the Steelers just now. You ain't say nothing about that. Matter of fact, in that you said nothing about them at all. You said everything about the Steelers and lied about the Steelers.
You didn't ask me about it. What do you mean? We didn't even. I didn't. What did I say about the Steelers?
They're great. They're contenders. They don't need to have a great offense. They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
I said their defense is good. I said a lot of stuff went in their favor. Tucker missed 2 field goals. Derrick Henry fumbled. It just wasn't a good game. Like, it was
a fumble in the first quarter just drastically changed that game so much.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's just stuff went wrong, bro. Stuff went wrong.
Interception, misplays, dumbass toss on a 2-point conversion that you could have checked out. Yeah, sure. So a lot of things went wrong.
Yeah, I just like it just wasn't addressed because I wasn't asked for. And you got to think,
he wasn't asked about Justin Herbert almost.
Lamar, all right, we're not going to compare the lesser 2 evils because if you're bad, you're bad. But in this case, yes, we are.
Justin Herbert's not bad.
In the second half, he was terrible.
Oh, sure, but his first half was better than anything Lamar did on Sunday.
In the first half, cool. But what happened in the second half?
He won the game.
He was literally like 6 for like 20 something.
He wasn't 6 for that. He wasn't 6 for that. He wasn't.
One team walked away with the win. One team walked away with the win, and a good first half. The other team lost.
Well, he wasn't what, Latif?
He was 6 of 21 before the last drive. He completed like 2 or 3 passes in the last drive. That's how I know he wasn't 6 of 21.
All right, cool.
Bro don't care about none of the Quentin Johnson drops when he had DJ Turner beat every single play. He ain't say nothing about that. Like, not a damn thing.
No, Herb did have some drops in there, but he wasn't. He didn't play well in the second half. But he did. He did have some drops.
First half was good.
The Chargers. What Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers are doing this year is showing the importance of coaching and culture in this league and in sports in general. He's came in and changed the entire culture. He showed that he believed in Justin Herbert. He said he wanted to retire as Justin Herbert as the last quarterback. He hasn't run the ball. The same personnel playing much better defense. They look like a much better team. He instilled a culture of toughness, of running the ball. He drafted he drafted Joe Alt. He drafted Joe Alt with the 5th overall pick. And instead of drafting a wide receiver, so calculated
it's a culture move.
Organization's future and their outlook. Last season, before the draft, last year in the offseason, the Chargers looked like a very bad situation. They had Mike Williams, who was injury prone and expensive. They had Keenan Allen, who was injury prone, old, and expensive. They had 2 pass rushers that were injury prone, not on the younger side, inexpensive. And a year later, they're second in the division. They're going to be a playoff team. And the only real thing they did was trade Keenan Allen, cut Mike Williams, draft Joe Alt, and hire Jim Harbaugh. And now things look drastically different. Did I have doubts coming into the season? For sure, I did. I'll be the first to admit I did doubt their receiver room, but again, you got a top 5 quarterback. He's making it work. The running game is pretty good. The defense, I didn't expect the defense to be good. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the defense was gonna be shit. And it's just been,
you definitely did. You said it out loud.
Yes. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So yeah, this is an extreme culture change. As far as the Bengals, they gotta have a clear path too, to be honest. They either need to extend T. Higgins or let him go. Because honestly, they probably fine without him. But he's obviously a big part of this team too. Bro, yeah, you
could use that. You could use that money other places.
Yeah, you have a top.
Their offense works. The only reason why their offense works is because of T.
No, that's not true.
Being real.
Not true. That's the
every team is doubling. Every team is doubling. Listen. Every team is doubling Jamar. They had 200 Jamar every play. And then that leaves T to be one-on-one.
I watched the Ravens.
Yes. T was out. T was out the Ravens game.
I watched the Ravens. I watched this double Jamar and throw another safety over the top, and he went for
the Ravens are not good defensively.
Okay, listen.
Three
Listen.
NFL players.
Three
Three
NFL
NFL
He had a $150.
How
The
many
game
times do we have to see?
$120.
How many times do we have to
Ravens,
see?
Ravens
All
are
three of
really
those games,
not-
T. Higgins did not
not a
play.
good defensive unit.
How many times do we have to see when you have a top 5 quarterback? You don't need 2 great weapons. You just don't. We can be real. You don't need it. They can draft the wide receiver in the draft. It's not that hard. They can do it in the second or third round. They can do it. They need to address their offensive line. They need to address their defense. T. Higgins, if he's going to accept a good deal, sure, but he's not like he has to stay on the team. Definitely not. No. They have Jamar Chase, a top 5 wide receiver. They have a top 5 quarterback. If you can't get that done offensively with that too, then there's another issue there. They need to work on their offensive line because it's still not good. They need to work on their defense because the defense is putrid. T. Higgins is not a must-have. He's not. I'm sorry. They have Burton there. They can draft from the wide receiver in the second or third round. That type of stuff. They just have to actually be good at drafting, which they're not. So, yeah. So that's really all there is to it.
When the Bengals were good, that brief two-year period where they were good, it wasn't mostly their homegrown talent. They literally used that time that they had with Joe Burrow on the rookie contract, and they literally paid for their whole defense. They paid for Chidobe Awuzie to get there. They paid for Trey Hendrickson. They paid for DJ Hill. They paid for DJ Reader. They paid for Jermaine Pratt to get there. They had drafted Logan Wilson. They had drafted Jesse Bates. They had brought it back in Von Bell. They brought their whole defense in. The only real homegrown talent they had was their quarterback and their 2 receivers. Everything else was pretty much brought in. They brought in talent. Didn't work. They had to let it go because they knew it was coming down the road, and they didn't draft properly. They thought they did. They picked the right positions. They just picked the wrong talents. The Chargers, the Bengals, these 2 teams, they're known as cheap. But with a top 5 quarterback, sometimes you got to change your philosophy. The Chargers, they changed. They went out and they paid big money for a coach, something they never did, and it paid massive dividends. They're about to win 10 games, probably 11, and make the playoffs. They switched around. They decided to pay money. They drafted better. They're building around their quarterback. The Bengals, they're still moving cheap. They haven't paid Chase yet, which would have helped them because they could move money down the road and sign other players. They haven't paid T, and they haven't traded him. If they were gonna think about the future, they should have traded him during the draft and try to get massive draft capital to try and fix the team. They just again have to pick the right players, but they didn't do that. So if you were gonna go into this season and go all out with T on the last year of his deal, it means you go all out. Go all out on defense. Get all the talent that you need. Spend everything at the trade deadline to try and win this year because you're not going to have T. Higgins again. If that was the plan of this whole time, they failed in that regard too. They just misstepped every single part of the way. Joe Burrow's having the best season of his career. Jamar Chase is having a top 5 wide receiver season this year. He's probably going to win the Triple Crown, and it's getting wasted because their defense can't stop anybody. They're going down to the wire. They're averaging 27 points per game in a loss. Teams with good offenses average 20 points. Like good winning teams average 27 points per game, but they're losing games because their defense can't hold up. It's not a Joe Burrow problem. It's not a Chase problem. I don't think it's a Zach Taylor problem. It's a whole organizational failure. Chargers, they just on the opposite end right now. They pivoted and they're moving in the right direction. It looks like the Bengals are moving in the wrong direction.
I think Zach Taylor is on the hot seat after next year, probably 1 more year.
Sure. I don't think that's insane.
No. I just don't. I'm not blaming him because he's an offensive coach and they have a top 5. They have like a top 5, top 10 offense. I'm not going to blame Zach Taylor for the team drafting the wrong position on the side of the ball that's not his. If you want to fire him, I don't care. I'm bringing a better coach. I don't think that fixes all the other problems.
The big issue is ownership.
I don't care if Robert Sala's not there. You still got other problems to fix.
The big issue is that ownership. They're cheap. They're known to be cheap. They got to actually shell out money. Like, again, you look at your team now, you need to pay Jamar. Like, that's not a if and or but. If you have Joe, you already paid Joe, you need to pay Jamar. You can let T walk and spend your money elsewhere. I understand it because, again, like what we just saw, you could say the Ravens are a bad defense because they are, but you have 3 NFL players guarding Jamar Chase. I'm sorry, like he should not have 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, whatever, and cook that much. So, again, like, you can allocate that in different places. You can draft.
They should have traded T. Higgins. That would have been a better management.
What's Andre Isavas? He's looked fine. Jermaine Burton's had his issues, I know. Gesicki, Chase Brown, like you have pieces there that you can work with offensively. You need an O-line, you need defense.
All right. A few young QB shined last week, Anthony Richardson came back and like duh, they never should bench for Flacco. I've been saying that. Anthony Richardson had a really good performance against the Jets. Bo Nix led the Falcons. Caleb Williams almost led a game-winning drive, and Drake May was.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I agree. That was crazy. That's cool, bro.
No, that's not cool because he was good the whole game.
Yeah, it was good the whole game, man.
I'm saying he almost led a game-winning drive. He almost
yeah, you know, what you're taking away from is the entire body of work he had, which was a great.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, he was great. I'm not saying he wasn't great. He was great.
You just
and then Drake May was also great against the Rams. So out of those 4 QBs or any QBs, young QBs this week, whose performance were you the most impressed with?
AR. Oh, come on, bro. Stop. Don't be
AR did well on the ground.
He had the best game of his career in the air and on the ground.
Yeah, he was good in the air too.
Is the question most surprised or most impressed?
Most impressed.
I guess it's the same thing for either. Michael Penix Jr., man. Michael Penix. No, I'll take Bo Nix easy. Bo Nix easy had the most surprising game for sure. I didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah, he played really, really well against a Falcons defense that gets a lot of love, especially with their safeties. It gets their safeties. Their defense
is trash.
But still, they're a competent team. I don't care. The defense in Denver was great. And yeah, Bo Nix completely dotted everyone up. I don't think he's better than Caleb. Let's not get into that debate. You can say what you want, Latif. It's nasty. I'm still taking Caleb. I'm still taking Jaden. I'm still taking Drake over him. Michael Penix, obviously, we need to see him play football. But yeah, Bo looked really, really good. That was the best game he's had all season, obviously. See if that can keep up, win a couple more games, maybe sneak into the playoffs. So I would definitely say I was most surprised with Bo.
They swept the whole NFC South. I'm thinking about their wins. They swept the whole NFC South.
We can't sit here and say that NFC South was that amazing. The only one that surprised me really,
I guess the
Bucks game surprised me.
I'm just saying lose a couple more games, man. Please.
Like I said, bro, that 22 class of quarterbacks
could look good.
What we thought that they were, or what they were going to be, is what this class is. I really think that every quarterback. I think JJ will be good. I wasn't really high on Bo. I wasn't really high on Bo Nix, but just him being seasoned, I thought that he could. His ceiling would be just being an okay quarterback. I think that holds true. I think Drake is going to be really good. I think Jaden is going to be really good. I think Caleb is going to be generational. It's just it's a lot. Cool. Let's see if we can make that face.
I don't know.
Bro, you just making shit up. What did anybody think the 2022 class was going to be?
I think he made the 2023 class, I think.
Well, I'm
22 class, Malik Willis and
yeah, my bad. Yeah,
what did you think the 2023 class was going to be?
I'm talking about
Trevor Lawrence, 2021.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, it could have been 21. My bad. I got the years.
Was it 2020 or 2021?
2021.
It was
2021. Okay, that's
somebody just commented on this Bo Nix video from like 2 months ago.
He said.
Hold on.
That was
somebody said so obvious he's a backup, and then he said so obvious. People was asking for updates. How about now? LMAO, I'm back. He's OP, bro. Don't cap. All right, bro.
What was 21? What's 21? Fields, Lawrence, Lance,
Mac Jones, Trey Lance,
Zach Wilson.
Nobody thought Zach Wilson was gonna be this horde. Yeah. What? So my bad. I misspoke. What people thought the 21 class was gonna be, I think that's what this class is gonna be. I think every quarterback is gonna be pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen Penix, we haven't seen JJ, but I think they'll be just fine. And then on a higher scale of things, you have not JJ. You have Caleb, Jaden Daniels, and Drake. So yeah, this is a really good class. Obviously, Caleb, he's gonna be a multiple MVP winner. He's gonna get some rings, bring some rings to Chicago.
Right.
Smell me?
Rings?
Yes, multiple.
Plural. Drake May was the most impressive for me. What he's been able to do without his weapons, without a good offensive line, extending plays with his legs. making amazing throws. Obviously, had the interception to end the game, but I think that was more so on a miscommunication between him and a wide receiver. He also was under pressure on that play because the offensive line is dog shit. He's been probably the most impressive rookie quarterback for me for the entire season, based on his sample size.
Cool. He's played like 3 games.
I just said that, but okay. I think it's been more than 3 games, but
he's played 7.
Yeah, so I don't know why you made that lie up, but okay.
He started in 7.
Yes.
Drake May has the worst situation out of the rookie quarterbacks by a mile.
Realistically, Bo Nix's weapons are not insanely better. They're not.
It's not about weapons. His play calling is better. His offensive line is better. His defense is better.
Playmaker wise, like, yeah, I guess situation as a whole, sure. Yeah, I'm not denying that. But I'm like saying, like,
not close.
They got
Cortland Sutton and be the best wide receiver.
Yes, 100%. That's the only person I'm taking.
Nothing you have said since you said that statement has backed it up. Come on, give me something.
What?
You said I don't think the situation is.
I'm saying no. If you go back, I said weapons. I'll take Hunter Henry over the tight ends in Denver. I'll take the running back room in New England over the running back room in Denver. And then I'll take Cortland Sutton. But past that, I would.
The Broncos running game. The Patriots running game hasn't been good, bro. The Patriots running game has not been good.
Yeah, the running backs aren't better than the Broncos.
I think if you put Ramondre and Gibson, I don't like Ramondre at all. I think still if you put him behind the Broncos O-line, it's different. But again, I'm not saying I don't think weapon wise is that much different. O-line, yes, I agree. Play calling, sure. But yeah,
Sure.
weapons wise, which is what I said to start with, weapons wise, not that much different, but fine.
Okay, well, that's not how offense works, and we know that now.
Yeah, I don't know all this.
You know that
No, I'm saying
Mr. Mike Williams.
bro. Anyways, I was banging on a Hall of Fame quarterback, my boy. But anyways, yeah, man, I think Drake May was the most impressive. He had a good performance, even though some of the stats don't say it. Anyways, let's get into this. Bo Nix, would you rather? Should we do this for right now? Going forward, what are we doing?
Cool. Do whatever you want. It's your show.
Going forward.
Going forward?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
I really think everyone might be taking over Bo. I'm not gonna lie.
We got a Bo Nix would you rather, and this is going forward into their careers. First name up is Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Brock.
I'll take Purdy reluctantly. No, at least not.
I'll take Justin Fields.
Next name up is Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
That's a Jaden Daniels.
Jaden.
I'll take Jaden Daniels too. Next name up is Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
I'll actually take what I get from Bo Nix going forward. Russ has got like maybe 2 years max. He's got 2 years max.
No, I'm confused on what we're comparing.
He said going forward. That's a dumb one in my opinion because Russ is going to be like old in the next 2 years.
Bo Nix might not have a starting spot in 3 years.
I'll take my chances on that.
Russell Wilson might get extended. He probably only get extended after this year. So
that's fine. But in 2 years, Bo Nix will be a question mark. Russ might be out the league because he's too old. So I'll take Bo.
No, he probably won't be.
Why would he be out the league if he's too old?
Well, hold on. Y'all.
How old is Russ? Not like 34.
Sure.
I don't like. I'd rather take a 26-year-old Bo than a 36-year-old Russ. Huh?
Hey, y'all chatted about that.
What do you say?
If that's the case, I'd take Bo Nix over Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford 36.
I'm taking 38-year-old Stafford.
Matt Stafford might retire before.
38-year-old Stafford. What are we talking about?
Matt Stafford might
retire.
Matt Stafford last season might be next year, bro. We're being serious.
It could be. He only got guaranteed money this year and next year.
Yeah,
I doubt that he'll up him again.
I think he had a neck injury a few seasons ago too. That was bad. And he already won a Super Bowl, so it's like not much you got to do.
Well, next name.
I'm waiting on James.
Oh.
Bro, doing everything but potting.
Oh, they could get out of his shit after this year.
Hey Max, don't ever do that again, bro.
What, bro?
Russell Wilson or Bo Nix, bro? Jaden.
I literally said Russell Wilson, bro. What are we doing?
If they cut him, it's a $40 million cap hit. $49 million cap hit.
I'll take Bo Nix. I'm not gonna lie. But next name up is Tua.
So you're funny as fuck.
Not gonna lie.
That's
Not
not
gonna
fair.
lie.
I'll take
Bro.
Tua. I'll take
I
Tua.
ain't gonna lie.
You're funny.
Bo got some legs. Bo got legs.
No.
Bo got legs. And it's still that same way you don't want to bank on a 36-year-old Russ. I don't want to bank on
Yeah, I know.
possibly missing out on my quarterback for 4 to 6 games out of a season, because in this AFC, that's just untenable.
Yeah, it's not a good situation at all. Obviously, the concussions.
Talent-wise, what's the gap between Tua and Bo Nix? Talent-wise,
I agree. The only reason you're not taking Tua is because of injuries.
You're funny as fuck.
I'm not being serious. Tua, what?
I know you're not being serious.
No, I'm being serious. My bad. I misspoke. I'm being dead ass.
The talent gap is not.
Yeah, what's the talent gap between Bo Nix and Tua? Tua's arm is not. He doesn't have a big arm. He can't. He's not great at extending plays. His thing is getting the ball on time, accurate. And
Yeah, the accuracy.
that's what Bo Nix is. I don't know what we're doing.
Bo
Right
Nix is the most accurate quarterback in college football history.
Yeah, like,
Also, he has a strong arm, but he's massively more mobile than Tua, and Bo Nix is not that mobile, like in terms of like mobile quarterbacks that we've seen. He's more mobile than Tua.
Oh my! Where's Miami? I'm not gonna lie.
Where's Stetson at? Is he still in LA?
Probably not.
He got a whole bunch of other. He shouldn't be worried about football right now.
Yeah, I'll take Tua though. I'll take Tua if he stays healthy. Last name is Geno Smith.
Geno, he overall just better talent overall. Whatever you think, Bo Nix is. Geno has better arm talent. He's more mobile. He's bigger. He knows more defense. He's probably going to hover around 11 to 15 for the next 3 years. That's cool. Bo Nix has to still work up to 15.
That's like French top 10 to me. That's
Nah,
like
you said he's top 10. You said he's top 10.
You said he was top
No,
10.
I screenshotted you saying he's top 10. I screenshotted it. I got it. I don't stop lying.
I literally said that. I said that after the Francisco game, bro. I was literally. Are you gonna take that as a serious?
The TikTok you made was also trying to
I
say.
agree. The TikTok you made is saying he's top 10.
I said it was 9 yeses and 2 maybes. I don't know why we.
But you asking the question. You asking the question is. I have.
This dude really.
I was just inquiring.
I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, baby, bro. You got a hard time.
Max.
You got a hard time admitting when you wrong.
Like I'm thinking about it the same way with the Russ one. Geno's obviously a better quarterback than Russ.
Bro, Geno is not about to be out of the league, bro. What are you talking about, Max?
Yeah, I know.
He might not be on Seattle next year.
Fair.
But
No, it's fair. It's fair. I'll take Geno. Geno, I think will stay around a little longer.
All right, get into your.
We got trivia.
We got 2 blind ranks.
Hold on.
It is.
People still commenting on this damn Bo Nix video. Give it up, bro. Damn.
We got 2 blind ranks. Okay, and these are both going to be moving forward. If the playoffs started today, who would you rather have, kind of thing, right? So the first blind rank is NFL defenses, right? We're talking about defensive units, not going forward like in the next couple of years. If you're going into the playoffs today, who you want to be your defense? Okay, everyone good?
Yeah, as long as you can say that better, please.
We are going to blind rank NFL defenses going forward this NFL season. First up, we have the Green Bay Packers.
4.
Wait, how many is it? How many?
5. You got 5.
4.
Yeah.
I say 4, and I like to add. I think he said it pretty okay the first time.
Off deck.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Jade. Green Bay forces turnovers. I know they traded Preston Smith, but Green Bay forces turnovers.
Who?
All right.
They turnovers over. They're not turning the ball over. They're getting shredded.
Next up, the Miami Dolphins.
5.
The Miami Dolphins are a professional American football team based in the Miami.
Alexa, be quiet.
They're 5.
Well, you got Alexa.
No, I don't know. Miami, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'll say because it could be worse. I'm not gonna lie. It could probably be worse than this. It could probably get worse.
Yo, what did I say about What did I say about my
I'm
guy?
gonna say
Chop?
3. I'm saying just for the record, I'm saying 3.
What did I say about Chop?
I don't know.
He'd win defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah,
I did
that's
say
not.
that.
You did say that.
I think
You
I
did say
did.
that.
I think I did.
You did say that.
Okay, so
He's actually been pretty good though. Can we admit that?
He had 2 good games.
yeah, I'm not
Like,
admitting.
recently. That's it.
All right, cool.
I'm saying 3 though. I'm just for the record. I'm saying 3. What you want to
All
do,
right,
Jay?
Jaden, you got 3 or 5.
I got 5.
Okay,
Okay.
told y'all. Watch.
Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers.
2 or 1.
Cool at 2.
2.
Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills.
3. But he might have a bad team on here, so let's probably put him at 1. But even though they're not better than the Chargers, what we thinking? I think we should put him at 1 because the team at 3 is probably going to be worse than the Bills.
I know Max. He has the Bears on here.
Could be good thinking. Latif.
Max has the Bears on here.
Could be onto something.
Bears
I don't.
has-
Cool with him at 1.
Max has the Bears on here, bro. The Bears or the Steelers?
We'll say 1. We'll say 1. I'm saying 1.
So you got
Yes,
Buffalo
Bears.
at 1.
Yep. Who's the next team?
Just to go back in the list. At number 1, you have the Bills. At number 2, you have the Chargers. Number 4, you have the Packers. Number 5, you have the Dolphins. And right in the middle, you have the Baltimore Ravens.
I knew we should have put the Dolphins at 3. But hey,
I'd still take the Ravens defense over the Dolphins. I'm not gonna lie.
I for both of these, I got all 32 teams are in play for these blind ranks. We're not doing a power heavy one or anything. So
I knew it was right.
all right. Next, we are going to rank these.
Bro, trying to get a victory lap on everything, bro. Been wrong so much this season.
He's hard. He's trying hard to get everything good right now.
Please say that better, brother. Please say that better, brother. Please.
I was going to until you stuttered on that. Rank these wide receiver duos going forward in this NFL season. I'm going to give you 5 NFL teams wide receiver duos, and it's just going to be the top 2 guys, injuries, whatever. Top 2 guys. At number 1, the Miami Dolphins.
3 or 4.
You talking about this season or period?
This season, you are a NFL team. You have whatever quarterback you want. You have these 2. You have Waddle and Reek right now.
Oh,
3 or 4.
2.
No,
I'm cool with 3.
3.
He said whatever quarterback.
3 or 4. 3.
He said whatever quarterback.
Tyreek, and I'm not gonna lie. Even with like Tua come back, they had better weeks, but like it's still he hasn't really been like going
I've
off.
watched teams successfully take Tyreek Hill and Waddle out of a game. Like I've seen that a number of times. Like it's not actually hard to do.
That is true.
Like the games that they lose against very good defense that know how to scheme out of games, and they get
when Tua came back, he had 57 yards. 37 yards.
Reek had a good game last game. Tyreek had a good game last game.
57 yards is a good game.
He didn't come back this week. This is not his first week back. Sorry, this is not to his first week back.
Oh,
he had 3 for 57. That's not a good week for Tyreek Hill. I don't know what
Today?
you're talking about.
I only really see them struggle against like
Versus the
physical.
Raiders, he had 2 receptions for 37 yards.
good defenses. They don't perform well against good defenses.
Oh no, that's Jalen Waddle. That's Jalen
Yeah,
Waddle.
like, am I tweaking? Like he literally
He had like 70 in a touchdown.
he had 19 fantasy points. Yeah.
Oh, 7 receptions for 61 yards. So that's still not good for Tyreek Hill. I don't know what you're doing right now.
That's average receiver. That's 1,000 yards only.
But John Smith literally had like a 50-yard touchdown.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, I did hear John.
I'm saying 3.
Me too.
That's cool.
Three. All right. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams.
2.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I'll take my 2.
Yeah.
That's iffy though, because they be getting hurt.
Next up, we have the New York Jets.
5.
Devontae Garrett.
4.
Devontae Garrett.
I'll say 4.
We didn't use 4. Yeah, I'll put him at 4.
Some people said that was a Super Bowl winning duo. Devontae and Garrett. What do we got?
I know you have the Bengals. Gotta have the Bengals.
The next team up is the Cincinnati Bengals.
One.
That's one.
I know you got the Eagles. Has to be or the Bears.
It'd still be one.
Oh yeah, we'll do one. We'll do one.
The next team up is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Exactly. That's why we should have had them 5.
Probably. But
So,
5 was wrong.
Who five?
The Bengals won.
Who do we have 4?
So you got the Bengals 1, the Rams 2, Dolphins 3, Jets 4, and Eagles.
Yeah, the Jets. The Jets should have been 5. That's why they should have been 5.
I mean, he's put the. I mean, he didn't really put a bad duo on there.
I put all top ones. So
Yes, I mean,
Yeah, before this season, people thought people still should think Devontae Adams is a top 10 receiver. Garrett Wilson is playing like a top 10 receiver. So it's
I thought you guys would put the Jets a lot higher. I guess I'm higher on the Jets than people on that receiver core.
why would I put the Jet? Come on.
I don't know why I would do that.
Come on.
Wrap it up.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like that little saying that you have. Well, what is it? Overcorrect. What is it? You're a grown man insinuating sexual movements against another man. So I mean, that's kind of weird on your part. No, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I vibe with that saying. I feel like it resonates with a lot of people on this podcast.
you finna add that to your vocabulary.
That's what Ocho be doing when Shannon Sharp be talking on Nightcap.
He writing it down.
He's like, what you said?
Yeah, I'm not that quote really not my style. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like to have my own style, but I mess with it. Appreciate you guys for watching. Grown man with a big shit on his wall, by the way. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. Follow the socials at the top. It's been a long time coming, man, but I'm back, man. It's time to get more consistent. Basketball episode coming soon. Appreciate you guys for supporting, and we're out.